Oh no! Oh no, baby boy. Okay, TK Designs, the thumbnail designer for CreepCast. Wow, he went on a bit of a bender tonight. He crashed out to an extreme degree tonight. Some people have been asking him about his thumbnail work. There was a post on Reddit about it following my video. I'm going to blame the Reddit post because my videos don't get that much traction. My videos don't get that many views. The Reddit posts do. But yeah, a few people contacted him about his AI usage in his thumbnails, his very obvious AI usage that he is doing. And he crashed out to an extreme degree, calling everybody stupid, calling people names, attacking people, so on and so forth, being a generally unprofessional little guy. It's hard to address this because I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this dude to full-on crash out over this. At most, I was thinking, well, this is, none of these people are going to engage. Meat Canyon, Wendigoon, they're too good to engage with, people who have gripes, unless they're, being very, very loud about it. And I wasn't planning to be very loud about it. And to that degree, I guess I thought the thumbnail artist wouldn't engage either, but engage he did, and boy howdy. So yeah, he was going after people who were questioning his usage of AI in his thumbnails, and on one of those occasions, he denied using AI, and he said, unless he did it. And this seemed like he was putting it off on someone else, maybe somebody else used AI on his work. And so people were asking, are you talking about Meat Canyon? Who are you talking about? Another person? Who are you passing the buck to? And he never answered this. He never answered who he meant. He just kind of put that out there, and I think he kind of realized that was a bad idea because he would not answer after that as to who he was talking about, potentially using AI on his work instead of him. Yeah, bit of a mess here. And one of the things that our friend did was he put a video out showing his process, showing his work to prove that I personally am wrong about his thumbnails. So we're gonna go through that, and we're gonna have a little fun at old boy's expense here. Because at this point, I think he's kind of earned it. He has really crashed out in a very toxic and vile way. So let's take a look at this video.
Here today, hello guys, TK here. Today we are being responding one guy that it's saying me that I'm using AI for making my poster.
By the way, on his header here he has magnific AI open in a tab here. Now this is an AI upscaler, but you may notice that in the title is the word AI. So he's got a tab open for an AI upscaler while saying he uses no AI.
One guy that it's saying me that I'm using AI for making my posters, thumbnails, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you are. So we're going to get into this a bit further, but on the preliminary surface here, you literally are using AI to upscale your work. And upscaling is done through generating details that are otherwise lost to small, images, to compression, different things like that. It is generative in its usage. But we're going to move past that because that's really not the meat of what we're going to get into here. We're going to have some fun here.
Really, it's saying that all my work, it's AI.
All right, so he's lying here in the first place because he's saying that all my work is AI. No, I said that you put together collages and then feed them into AI to fix any mistakes. Like to, smooth things out or brighten things up or enhance details, things like that. That's what I said. I didn't say you use it for all your work. So let's proceed here. And by the way, you're going to see him say lighting. He's going to say lighting a lot. And he's going to say, this guy says that I use AI for my lighting. I never said he used it for his lighting. And he'll be like, look at this. Look at all this lighting I did. I never said he didn't do any lighting. In fact, I think in one of my posts, I forget whether it was in a video or in a comment or a community post, I said something to the effect of, unless he is, doing like rim lighting and shadow by hand, in addition to the collage stuff. So I even covered that, but he's going to go on and say that I'm claiming that everything is AI when I'm saying that he's putting it through AI, and he's going to also say that it's about lighting, which I don't know. You're going to hear him say that a lot. This. Before versus after. No AI. No AI, really.
Yeah, really, bro. I'm not use AI for making my lighting and, you know, like my bullshit things. It's
So there you see the first instance of him saying lighting. Again, didn't say lighting.
show the process. The most simple thing is, if you don't know how to do something and you are frustrated that you don't know how to do that, it's really simple. Let me accuse that of these people are using AI.
Aw, you poor baby. Poor baby's being accused of using AI when he doesn't. By the way, let's take this image, which is his final image of his artwork, and let's compare it to what he posted online. There we go right there. Side by side is his image that he has in Photoshop versus the image he put online after he fed it through AI. Okay, well, there we go.
Okay, let me show the process. I have the entire image here. I just will deactivate in layer per layer for show you how I made it. Okay, this if you see here, bro, like everything here is layers staked. I do layer per layer using usually curves, hue, saturation, and many things. This is only the lighting. This is
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so
only the light.
there you go. We've got some lighting effects. By the way, Photoshop does not have any automatic lighting effects. This is all by hand.
Lighting using curves and, you know, like everything. We don't have image here, bro. Everything curves and tools of Photoshop doing the manually thing. I think it's so really fun in 2026. People seeing things like that, and you know, like if you don't know how to do, stop it. Don't need to say something. You know, like I know that AI it's copying everything and have many people doing so many things today. You don't know how to do this art, and the most simple thing is you say that it's AI. It's so stupid.
No, actually, the most simple thing is running your collage through AI. That's the most simple thing.
Like, don't have AI here. Like, only the final process entire.
So what you'll notice here is that as he's reducing the layers of like shadow and light, which, you know, he says that he's painted all by hand, which may very well be the case, but was never the fucking question of whether he painted some shadows and airbrushed some light on. As you see when he's reducing this, you'll see that he does not reduce it down to show us the different pieces of like the central image, like the squirrel image here. Because the squirrel image is likely, at least in part, made with AI or embellished with AI, made better with AI. He may have taken the squirrels and said, you know, put coats on them in AI. I don't know. But the thing is, he will not reduce it down to the point where we can see like everything that's going on in this image. And that's going to be important later in the video. You're going to see why he is not doing that.
It's manually work. If you don't know what is photo bash and photo manipulation, go to find it. I don't use AI generative. I don't generative the lighting. I don't generative the shadow.
Again with the lighting and shadow. It's very specific in what he's saying. He's saying, I don't use AI for the light and shadow. But here, I'll put on screen. Boom. There's a bunch of parts of this image that you're showing right now that show clear signs of AI usage. You are using AI. And if you want to say, well, you know, I'm just using that AI upscaler and that's causing all of the artifacts. Well, if you're using the AI upscaler, you're using AI. And if you're using AI to fill in details and to fill in spaces and to, you know, change certain aspects of the image, that is using material to reference in order to figure out how to do that. And it's generating the details and generating certain things in the image, certain aspects, which is generative and is using other people's work, using the reference material. And, you know, here's the thing. As, you know, Wendigoon said in his post, if you can't do it by yourself, you don't have a right to do it. So if you can't make your image look well enough on its own, don't do it by using the AI to fix it. I don't know. As you know, I'm just going by what Wendigoon said, and I have no problems with Wendigoon as much as like a vocal minority will say otherwise and be like, "Why do you hate Wendigoon?" It's like I'm just pointing out that he needs to get better at spotting AI because he's it's rife throughout his career at this point. But yeah, I'm just pointing out that if you can't do it yourself, you shouldn't do it at all, right?
When I say I don't use AI, it's the generative AI, because this is the most usually that people are doing in 2026. If you see here, everything, it's a photo manipulation.
Again, what he's doing is he's removing the layers that show lighting and shadow, like where you've painted over something in black and then painted over, in white for light. He's just removing the certain layers that have to do with lighting and shadow. He's not actually going to show us anything that denotes AI was not used at all in this process.
It's literally making the lighting manually.
I mean, this would be so easy if you just showed us the squirrels without the jackets. Like here's how I cut the jackets on, and here's how I put the scarves on. But it seems a lot like AI, generated stuff. I don't know.
Paint the lighting. I paint the lighting for make everything blow up. So I'm doing my stupid life in the last 4 years is doing this. I'm spending a lot of time, bro. I just don't sleep some nights studying this. I'm not.
Some nights he doesn't sleep painting shadows and light on collages. I mean, I to a certain extent, yeah, there are certain artists who take a lot of time doing certain things like that. But again, I'm seeing this guy remove like a couple layers of light and a couple layers of shadow. I'm not seeing like a fully orchestrated image here. I'm not seeing something that is not using generative AI in the first place, which is the problem. And as I said, we'll get into that. I showed you all the details on this image that are AI generated. But yeah,
using my skills for making my arts, it's being rude. Again, let me keep. I don't use jump. I don't use cut. I don't use make nothing. Everything here is a photo manipulation. Photo manipulation. So literally every.
And that's where we'll stop. That's where he's going to stop, is right there. We're not going any further into the lantern, the details on the squirrels, the different things that show like AI usage, even if it's just to upscale or fill in the blanks, which again is generative. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just keep going here.
Everything here, it's a photo manipulation. Another one that he say it's AI is the CreepCast's thumbnail. I need to show because guys, for this don't happen again, for this don't having more people's talking about. I will show the CreepCast one or show the process. I know having people's wanted to see the process how the CreepCast thumbnails are made and how are the process for the thumbnails of the CreepCast. I will show you right now because recently he don't know how to do a simple lighting thing. He really don't know.
Again with the fucking lighting. This guy thinks he has it settled here. He thinks he has the perfect plan. He says, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to show that I did the lighting, and I'll pretend that gets rid of any other details that are AI in my work. I'm just going to show the lighting, and I'll keep talking about lighting. And by the end, no one will realize that I have misdirected them into just looking at the lighting. It's not going to work.
How do a simple lighting stuff using solid color and Photoshop? You don't know how to do it? You really don't know, bro, how to do it? A simple lighting? Impressive how the peoples in 2026 don't know the basic of photo manipulation. This is my reference. It's from my friend called it Azatec, the best thumbnail for friends. And I like to watch all these references for make my own stuff. So the same thing will happen here. If you see here, it's everything. Hue, saturation, curves, exposure, and many others. I just do it for make the end process, for fix the lighting. It's not AI generative.
And I'm pausing this and making it a bit longer, but I apologize for all the times that he's saying lighting over and over. I know that's got to be fucking grating on you guys, but just stick with me. Stick with me. Try not to get bored.
It's full camera raw. It's full VFX using curves. You see, more curves. Okay. Now for the Wendigo, he say it's AI. All the textures, all.
By the way, here he goes again saying, he says it's AI. He says Wendigoon is AI. No, in my video I said that you're cutting in pictures, like in a collage, of, Wendigoon and of Meat Canyon, of different, things, and then feeding it through AI. So what you're proving here, what this guy is proving here, is that he does exactly what I said, which is cutting together collages of existing images and running it through AI. But his stipulation is, well, during this process, I changed the lighting. Wow, what a huge difference.
All the lighting, everything, it's AI. Okay, it's here.
I have to reiterate. He says that everything is AI. No, not everything. Not everything. Never said that.
Look it. Look it. I don't work in...
All right. Who's ready to learn the time with me? What time is it exactly? Well, let's see. We've got 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 o'clock, proper 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock plus. We've got, I don't know, what is that, 515 o'clock? I don't know. 8 o'clock. We've got upside down 5 o'clock. We've got 1 o'clock again. And then we have 1 o'clock again. And then at the top of the clock, instead of midnight, coming in at the end of the day, we've got 6. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, no AI. No AI. That is certainly not an AI-generated image of a clock tower that you that you cut and paste into your collage here. And I'm sure that every single time, a piece of AI art, generative AI art, has magically found its way into your thumbnails, I'm sure that every time that just happened to be a random image you Googled to use and it just happened to be AI generated. Every time that you've used AI generated art in your thumbnails. And then cutting out a collage, editing the lighting, which, my bad, I didn't realize that you were editing the lighting, and then feeding it back through AI to upscale it. Like fucking hell. This guy right here, he thinks he's making a wonderful point right here on the right, but on the left, which face do you believe? Do you believe the clock face or the little face inset on the side?
Okay, it's here. Look it. Look it. I don't work an entire image and after that I use AI. This is bullshit.
So he just says, I don't work on an entire image and then afterwards I use AI. He says he doesn't use AI after making the image. But my dude, you literally have a tab open for an AI upscaler. You literally say that you use AI upscaling. That is using AI at the end of the process. The dude, oh my God. He says, I don't make the image and then use AI, but he also publicly says that he makes the images and then uses AI. And plus, we caught him using AI in other ways as well during the process. Like, holy shit. And this guy is going to call other people stupid? Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle stupid?
I don't want an AI doing my things. I don't want AI, covering, creating lightings and creating shadows, creating perspectives on anything. I just want to do my things.
Again with the lighting and shadows.
I don't need AI for make my own things because I'm spending a lot of time, a lot of night. I'm spending a lot of time studying, finding works, reading books. You read the books for making your stuff? No, you don't have.
Yeah, I actually write books, bitch. Oh, by the way, keep that face. You're going to need it throughout this video.
Have time for that because you are stupid. Okay, let me keep going.
Wow, what do you know? What do you know? A collage of cutout images.
Keep going. For the hunter. Okay, hunter, maybe use AI. No, hunter don't use it. Hunter don't have AI, my bro. Don't have AI.
Wow, a cutout image in a collage. Exactly what I said he was using. That's crazy.
effects, exposure, curves, everything here, it's a full photo manipulation. Oh, I'm not sure. He are using AI. He have another works that it's literally that people can see it's AI. Okay, let me show another. Okay, let's go in. This is forever thumbnail. I'm artist, I'm doing this a long time. I'm studying Photoshop a long time. With the best guys on the base, Max Asabin, many productions. We have so many channels that teach you how to do a better image.
And by the way, yes, you are subscribed to all of these channels that teach you how to do Photoshop. Mr. Designs, you are also you're also subscribed to an AI tutorial channel. Like you are you're talking about who you're learning from. I did my research. I checked into this. I have the receipts. You're subscribed to a channel that teaches you how to use AI. Generative AI. My friend. Never fuck with Slimebeast. Holy shit.
Teaching you definitively, bro, but you don't have time to study because you are stupid. You're a small guy. Oh my god, bro, it's so many layers doing so many things. And he...
By the way, this guy's going to talk about being a small guy. Like right now it looks like Meat Canyon let his 5-year-old son take over his Twitch stream for a moment, doesn't it?
thinks it's AI, bro. So guys, again, if you don't know how to do art and you need to call, it's AI. Stop it. Stop, bro. 2026, we have so many areas that you can find. We have a photo bash, we have a photo manipulation, the art of you get in innumerable image and blend together. You don't need AI. You know, if you don't know how to do simple lighting, find Benny Production. He has so many tutorials how to do. I like to use a solid color. I like to do use hue saturation for make some lighting. You know, it's a really simple. So again, stop to call the Papa Meat and CreepCast's it's AI because this is so boring. We don't use AI for make anything. The unique thing that we use, and I think it's a really powerful for 2026. This is the best evolution of the intelligence.
Of what kind of intelligence? So you spend all that time saying, and by the way, you know, he's exposed for using a lot more AI than he says he uses, but he goes all that time saying he doesn't use AI, he never uses AI, he does all the lighting himself, no AI, no AI, no AI. And then at the end of the whole thing he says, but the most, you know, the best, newest advance in intelligence. What sort of intelligence are you talking about, my friend? Are you talking about real human intelligence, or are you perhaps talking about the artificial sort of intelligence?
The technology is enhancer, recover old image. I don't use recover old image using my skills because this is impossible. I can reconstruct pixels using my hands because this is impossible.
So his thing here is he's saying he can't reconstruct pixels using his own hands, so he has to use AI to reconstruct pixels, like to upscale and to, you know, make small, terrible images look better. But the thing is, why don't you use better-looking images? Better yet, why don't you, you know, draw them? Why don't you create them? Because, again, you know, you shouldn't be using AI if you can't do it yourself. Correct?
Have AI for do that, you know, for enhancer, for upscaler the image, not generative image.
Too bad that we already showed he was using AI in his working files when he showed us that clock tower, when he showed us certain thumbnails in other time lapses that he's done. He showed us that during his process things were already showing the telltale signs of AI during his process and not afterward due to upscaling. So he not only upscales the images, but he has been using AI provably in his process. And he's going to sit here and say everybody else is fucking stupid. This was not the route to take, I will say that. I had no qualms with this guy. I had no problems with this guy. He was lying about using AI, but I was just like, well, he's one step away from saying that he does use AI. And then everything is, you know, like, well, what are you going to say? He admitted to it. He says he uses it. He's transparent. He's clear. But instead, he's like tripling and quadrupling down. And not only lying, but just calling names like a little schoolyard baby.
Okay? Stop to be boring. Thank you very much.
So I have a question directed solely at TKDesignzs. Do you wish to continue? The entire point of my video that I put out showing the process was the dude is cutting together a collage and then upscaling at the end. So he says that that's not correct, but then says that's what he's doing. I don't get it. It's fucking insane. This is just not what I expected.